Hi, and welcome to Cenario, your partner in mental wellness. Here on our channel, we share educational, insightful, and science-backed content to help you understand your mental health and take meaningful steps toward a more balanced life. If you're ready to learn, grow, and take control of your wellness journey, let's jump right in.
Welcome to We Explainer. Today, we're going to break down empathy. And look, this isn't just some soft skill. It's something that can literally change your relationships, your work, and yeah, even how you see the entire world. So let's just dive right in with the question. Have you ever been talking to someone and it just feels like there's a wall between you? You know, you're talking, they're talking, but you're not actually connecting. What's going on there? What's missing? Well, that feeling, it actually has a name. It's called an empathy deficit. And it's not just a fuzzy feeling, it has real, tangible consequences. We're talking about poor communication, feeling totally disconnected from people, and having relationships that just feel kind of shallow or strained. And that goes for your personal life and your professional one. All right, so how do we fix this? How do we start bridging that gap? It all starts with really getting what empathy is, beyond just the buzzword that everyone throws around. Okay, so first things first, empathy is not just feeling sorry for someone. That's actually sympathy, real empathy. Well, that's the skill of genuinely trying to get inside someone else's experience, from their viewpoint, not yours. It's a huge, huge shift in perspective. And what's really fascinating is that empathy isn't just one thing. It's actually made up of 3 different types that kind of build on each other. So first, you've got cognitive empathy. That's the I get it, the intellectual understanding of their point of view. Then there's emotional empathy. That's when you can feel what they're feeling, like it's contagious. And the final piece of the puzzle is compassionate empathy. This is where you combine both understanding and feeling, and it motivates you to actually do something, to help. Now, here's the best part. Empathy isn't something you're just born with or without. It's a skill. You can build it, just like a muscle. So let's get practical. Let's dive into your empathy toolkit and talk about some things you can start doing like today. Okay, tool number 1. This is the foundation, the absolute bedrock of everything we're talking about. Practice active listening. I know, it sounds so simple, right? But trust me, when you really do it, it is a total game changer. So what is active listening, really? It's so much more than just not talking. It's about being 100% present. That means you're not sitting there planning what you're going to say next. It means you put your phone down, seriously, put it away, you make eye contact, and you can even try reflecting back what you heard. Something simple like, so what I'm hearing is, just to make sure you're on the same page. And this right here, this shows you the power of that shift. Instead of immediately jumping in with, oh, I've had it way worse, which totally dismisses their feeling, you try something that validates it. You're not just hearing words, you're acknowledging the emotion behind the words, and that is so incredibly powerful. All right, on to tool number 2. For this one, you gotta put on your detective hat a little bit. Why? Because so much of what people are really feeling isn't in their words. It kind of leaks out through their body language, their tone of voice, all those non-verbal signals. So you really have to start asking yourself, what is their body telling me right now? Think about it. Someone says, I'm fine, but their shoulders are all tensed up and they can't look you in the eye. Their body is screaming a completely different story. And a lot of the time, that's where the real truth is hiding. Okay, this one can be tough for sure, but it is absolutely crucial for any kind of real connection. Here it is. Empathy begins where judgment ends. Look, our brains are wired to make snap judgments. It's a survival thing. But empathy, it requires us to consciously hit the pause button on that instinct. So here's the trick. You have to switch your mindset from criticism to curiosity. It's a simple little reframe in your head, but it changes everything. Instead of thinking, ugh, why are they being so dramatic? You ask, I wonder what's going on that's making them feel this way. See the difference? That second one opens the door to understanding, while the first one just slams it shut. And that brings us to our 4th tool. And let me tell you, this might be one of the most powerful gifts you can give another human being. It's simply the act of acknowledging and validating their emotions, making them feel seen and heard. And this is key, regardless of whether you agree with them or not. And you can do it with phrases that are so simple, but so effective. Saying something like, that makes sense, or I can see why you'd feel that way. It doesn't mean you're saying, you're right, or I agree with what you did. All you're saying is, I acknowledge that from where you're standing, your feelings are valid.
Man, that is a huge, huge gift to give someone.
Okay, so let's talk about a really common fear here. People worry that if they become more empathetic, they're just going to turn into this emotional sponge, right? Soaking up everyone's pain and getting totally burnt out. And you know what? That is a super valid concern. It all comes down to a really key distinction that we have to make. And here it is, the critical difference. Sympathy is feeling for someone, which often creates a little bit of distance, a bit of pity. But empathy? Empathy builds a bridge. It's about trying to understand with them. True empathy doesn't mean you have to take on their pain as if it's your own. It just means being present with them while they're going through it. It's about connection, not, catching their emotions. So if you want to practice empathy without burning out, you absolutely have to protect your own energy. And let's be clear, that is not selfish. It is essential. This means setting boundaries. It means knowing when you need to take a break from a heavy conversation. It means being okay with saying, hey, I really care about this, but I need a minute. You can't be there for anyone else if you're running on empty. You just can't pour from an empty cup. All right, so this brings us to what I think is the most important takeaway from this whole thing. The one big idea that kind of ties everything else together. And it's this. Empathy is not some fixed trait you either have or you don't. It is an active choice. It's a practice you commit to every single day. In every conversation you have, you get a choice. You can slow down, listen a little deeper, and choose to connect instead of criticize. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. It's not about if you're an empathetic person. It's about how you're going to choose to practice it. So think about it. Who in your life, right now, could you try to truly understand just a little bit more? Start there.
Thank you for watching Cenario. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For personalized mental wellness supplements, visit Cenario.com. See you in the next one.